Mick Cannan gets him into the gate without a problem. The 4-horse Suleimani, many like him. Frankie Dettori rides him. And as they continue to load for the turf, a field of 9, let's go up to Tom Durkin, who is ready for the call.
There goes Falbrov into the starting gate. And Johar, who has some options for him. Sometimes he can go to the lead, and sometimes he'll come from just a bit off. See how it transpires here in the Breeders' Cup turf. They're in the gate. Storming home, a little fidgety in there. And they're off. Tocchet sent out to the lead immediately. Balto Star with his usual early flair. The Tin Man is right there. So too Bright Sky and High Chaparral. Falbrave comes away with the leaders on the outside. Farther back in the early going, Suleimani and Storming Home, and Johar will do his running from the back of the pack today as they continue their descent off the hill and head for the main course. And it is Balto Star to be the early leader, Tin Man to be his shadow. Those two head to head as they continue toward the main track here. Just in behind, Tocchet has been taken off the pace. Falbrov's under a hard hold. Defending champion High Chaparral in and among horses and well held in 5th position. French filly Bright Sky drafting in behind horses in the early stages here. Suleimani, Storming Home still together. It's a tight pack with Johar at the back of the wall. As they move by us for the first time here, up top it's Balto Star, and keeping him honest, it's the Tin Man with 1 circuit remaining here. High Chaparral gets a perfect spot as they move into the clubhouse turn, tucked away neatly in behind the lead 3rd. Falbrov is in the clear and running in 4th. Storming Home gets taken wide there, and Suleimani stumbled. He got pinched back, and Suleimani stumbled, took a very bad step. They make their way around the clubhouse turn. Balto Star shadowed by the Tin Man. High Chaparral kept right up there, running along in 3rd position as the pace begins to quicken for the run down the backstretch. Falbrov still on hold, running along in 4th. Storming Home, Gary Stevens 5th on the outside, running along in mid-pack, and they're running comfortably at this juncture. Bright Sky has asked for more run at the midway point down the backstretch. Suleimani, long shot, Tocchet is tailing off, and Johar still trailing the field. The Tin Man takes over with a half mile to go. It's the Tin Man in front, but Falbrov looms on the outside. A threatening second as they race into the far turn. High Chaparral is called on for his run as Balto Star retreats. Storming Home, and Gary Stevens says go with him. They're only 3 lengths from the front as they approach the top of the stretch. Then Bright Sky on the inside of Suleimani. Johar watching his bid, and there's 2 furlongs to go in the Breeders' Cup turf. And here comes Falbrov charging over the turn on the outside to color the Tin Man, and Falbrov's in front, but here comes High Chaparral. High Chaparral, the defending champ, to take it to Falbrov. These 2 arch rivals head to head with Johar bearing down on them. It's going to be a 3-horse photo finish in the turn. Here's the wire. Photo finish. High Chaparral in between horses. Maybe it was very, very close. Johar coming at the end. Falbrov at the inside. Those 3 noses on the line in a thriller. What a great race here in the Breeders' Cup turf. From my point of view here, it looked like High Chaparral, but if he did, it was only by a flared nostril, Tom Hammond.
Tom, we'll wait for the official photo. I agree with you. We're sitting right here on the finish line, and that's what it appeared to be, but was it ever close? Now that is a Breeders' Cup race. That's what this series is all about. High Chaparral, if he did indeed get that flared nostril in front, would be the 6th horse to win 2 Breeders' Cup races. Charles, he said he wasn't getting much respect as the defending champion. He was dead game today, I'll tell you. And so were Falbrov and Johar in that 3-horse photo at the wire. We'll make Donna choose who she thinks won the race, and she can't see it. They've just put up the replay, and the fans here at Santa Anita gasping as they see a replay of that 3-horse finish at the wire. Donna?
Mick, congratulations. The defending champ comes back, and God, what a finish.
Yeah, it was exciting stuff. Yeah, he's never beat this guy. He's a heart so huge.
What kind of trip did you have?
I had a nice trip. I had to hold my position, and all of a sudden, you know, we were having a nice run, and Falbrave was there with me, and I was happy with my position. Knew I'd get home well because we'd gone just nice pace, and I thought I was going to win. It just took me a while to wear Falbrave down, and fortunately I hit the wire good.
That's a nice feeling to know you're going to win.
It's nice when they call it up.
Mick, there's been a lot of controversy about the heat in California, but the Europeans have made a huge showing today, and it's been hot.
It's nice. It's been what I left at home on Wednesday was really bad weather, so I enjoyed the heat. I'm sure the horses did as well.
You enjoyed it and they're faring well. Tom, he doesn't look like he's overheated to me. He just looks happy.
It's a lot easier to enjoy when you win a $2 million race. And they still have not put up the numbers. This is how close it is. The fans keep gasping every time they show it on the big screen here. That's a freeze frame of the finish. And they're still taking a close look at the official photo. Do you hear the fans reacting to the big screen replay again? Well, Mick Kinane sounded like he had won the race, but until they put up the number, he wasn't sure, and neither are the placing judges. Normally, that photo would have been resolved by now, and they're still examining it closely. High Chaparral, the 4-year-old Sadler's Wells colt from Casora by Darshan, bred in Ireland, owned by Michael Tabor and Mrs. John Magner, trained by Aidan O'Brien. Mick Kinane in the saddle. There's a look at Johar. Alex Solis aboard him, the Richard Mandela trained horse owned by the Thoroughbred Corporation. And High Chaparral getting an escort back. But I'm telling you, it's so close that they still have not put up the numbers, and normally that would have happened a long time ago. In fact, Solis isn't getting off till he knows for sure he's on the outside. Number 9 on Johar. High Chaparral between horses. Falbrov on the inside. Never had a dead heat for win in a Breeders' Cup race, but the length of time they're taking, Chelsea, lends you to believe it might be coming.
That's what I was about to say. When a photo takes this long, it oftentimes comes back a dead heat. But from our angle, it looked like High Chaparral in the tiniest of margins.
Well, they'll make awfully sure. Remember, $2 million on the line here. And they have the photo to look at. The horses are being walked around and starting to cool out a little bit. Solis still hasn't gotten off Johar. It appears to be between Johar and High Chaparral. Falbrov wasn't far back, but apparently is not involved in this very, very tight look at the photo. Mick Kinane still aboard.
I'd have to say at this point, if this is not a dead heat, this will be the longest photo for win I've ever seen.
The drama continues at Santa Anita. Both Solis and Kinane not willing to concede a thing. Still astride their mounts. It was a thrilling finish, and it's a thrilling photo.
Huge late run from Johar, who was in a paceless race the last time he ran right here at Santa Anita. Found himself on the lead, something he's not used to doing, and wound up being caught at the end by Storming Home. Today he got to settle back where he likes to be, well off the pace, and came running with that great late run.
Well, when John Gaines devised the Breeders' Cup, this is what he had in mind, wasn't it? A thrilling race, 3 horses involved in the photo, and so tight, perhaps a dead heat.
Tom, if you look up and down the grandstand here, everyone is on their feet and everyone is staring out to the tote board.
Of course, a lot of money at stake, too, not only to the winner's purse, you see the big screen there, but a lot of bettors anxious to find out what the outcome is. Johar was 14-1.
Of course, while we wait, you see the grooms and assistant trainers with their buckets of water, sponging and cooling these horses out as best they can, but it's time for them to be taken care of and gotten back to the barn. We need a decision here.
High Chaparral was 9-2 on the final odds. Solis, what's yes or no? Everything on hold for the moment.
Aidan O'Brien's wife and his children giving High Chaparral a pat on the shoulder there. Michael Tabor pacing around. Part owner along with Mrs. John Magner. There is John Magner. Nobody knows for sure.
race finished in 2:24 1/5, the third fastest Breeders' Cup turf ever.
Can I ask you a question? I've got Mandela.
All right. Well, let's ask him what he thinks.
Well, Dick Mandela, you just looked at it for about the 10th time in the big board here and heard the gasp of the crowd as you're trying to grasp it. What do you think about it?
I'm just hoping he comes out on the winning end, because if I don't, I know Alex will criticize that I had him short.
Well, he came on the outside. It was a terrific finish. Do you think you have it right now? Can you figure it out from looking at it all these times?
I'd be glad to call it a dead heat. I have no idea.
You'll settle for a tie in this one?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, I have a feeling maybe everybody would in this one, Tom.
There he is as he watches Johar coming with a flourish at the finish. Did he get there? Oh, my goodness. It would be his third win of the day. A month before his birthday, or less than a month, a couple weeks. And the photo sign is still up. Again, so much at stake that they won't take any chances, and perhaps a little divine intervention called for. One thing we can put to rest, the fact that the Europeans couldn't handle the heat.
In case you're wondering how they decide the purse in a dead heat, is they add first place and second place together and divide it evenly between those two that are dead heated.
Sounds like a fair deal to me, Charlesy.
I think right now they'd both settle for it.
Well, if you think the wait seems interminable, how do you think Aidan O'Brien and Dick Mandela feel?
Yeah, they did, yeah.
You don't think he's calling somebody to see if they had a better look at it, do you?
Yeah, thanks very much, yeah. Yeah, so we hope and we'll see, you know. Yeah, they did, yeah. Thanks, Dad. Talk to it, bye.
Interestingly, Falbrov is still on the track.
Is he still there too? Aidan O'Brien looked
without the tack.
Aidan O'Brien looked as hot as his horse as he walked back and forth, pacing.
Might make you sweat bullets.
Darrell Holland on Falbrov is dismounted, but the horse is still there. Mick Kinane is still aboard High Chaparral, and Alex Solis still up on Johar. There he is. I don't know if anybody put a clock on the length of time they've been looking at the photo, but I can't remember one this long. Again, so much at stake, you might be extra cautious, but this is about the longest I can remember in any race.
I agree with you, Tom. I've never seen one take this long.
And nobody moving to go back to the paddock for the next race from this crowd. They're all still eagerly awaiting the outcome of this one. It was a thrilling finish. Was it a heater, as they say at the track? We still don't know.
I hope they had film in the camera.
They paid $180,000 in supplemental fees to run High Chaparral last year, and he brought home the purse money. Not too many supplemental nominees have shown a profit at the Breeders' Cup, but he was one that did in big time fashion. Well, how keen is your eyesight? Falbrov inside, High Chaparral between, Johar outside.
It's a head bob, but where is exactly the wire? Right there. There.
Wow, that has to be a dead heat.
What did you think the first time you saw it? Live, I mean.
There has never been a dead heat in Breeders' Cup history. This is the 20th edition. And the photo sign still illuminated. The principal still pacing, equine and human. The announcer is still stalling. And the temperature is still rising. And here it is. It's a dead heat. A Cup history. High Chaparral and Johar have dead heated in the Breeders' Cup turf. And I think probably everyone is relieved. Dead heat, High Chaparral and Johar, dead heat in the Breeders' Cup turf. Aidan O'Brien, well, no smile there, but he'll have his second victory, back-to-back wins for High Chaparral in this race, and he and Johar will split first and second money. A dead heat in the Breeders' Cup turf, High Chaparral and Johar. It's never happened before in Breeders' Cup 20. It happened right on the wire. Two horses finishing in an absolute dead heat. What else can happen today? High Chaparral and Johar will taste the champagne tonight. In the John Deere Breeders' Cup turf, Johar and High Chaparral. There's Dick Mandela, his third winning horse of the day, and the official photo. Classic dead heat, and Falbrov on the inside only got beat ahead. What a finish. Johar on the outside, High Chaparral between horses, dead heating for the win, the first winning dead heat in Breeders' Cup history. Here are the payoffs. $640 on the win for High Chaparral, $1360 for Johar, and Falbrov just beaten was third. 3-9 exacta, 36-30. And so Mike Battaglia has his work cut out for him in the Winner's Circle presentation. Go ahead, Mike.
I really do have my work cut out for me, Tom. We got Michael Tabor from High Chaparral. We got Dick Mulhall representing Johar. We got the two riders, Mick Canaan, Alex Solis. Great ride by both of you. We got Gary Ross, the director, the writer, and the producer of Seabiscuit. And from John Deere, we have, we have Mr. Dennis Stewart, who's presenting one of the trophies. And guys, you're on your own. Who are you going to present to, Dennis?
I'm going to present again to High Chaparral.
All right.
Congratulations for a repeat victory in an exciting race. So on behalf of John Deere and our dealers, congratulations, well done.
To Michael Tabor. Michael, congratulations. Gary, you're going to present to Dick Mulhall.
I am. I'm going to present to Dick Mulhall, to the Thoroughbred Corporation, to a wonderful trainer, Mr. Mandela, and to my good friend, Alex Solis, who nailed a Breeders' Cup victory. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. Here you go. Congratulations. Great ride.
Guys, congratulations. What a finish. Mick, Alex, we waited. Every time they showed it on the board, the crowd gasped like they didn't know. Did you guys have a clue?
I wasn't sure. I thought Mike pulling up. I said it's really close, and it was an incredible race, the best of Europe with the best of America. It was incredible.
Yeah, I felt pulling up I had won. I didn't think I lost, but then I thought the judge had gone on tea break. I started to get very worried.
So they do that in Europe, go on tea breaks when there's a photo.
Well, I think the judge definitely went on one today, because we started to get very worried then, but I started to say, well, if I get half a loaf, it's better than none at this stage now. So yeah, it's probably a great result for everybody.
Well, you know, if you don't like a finish like that, Michael, you don't like thoroughbred racing. That was just a brilliant finish to the John Deere turf, and anybody that was here, anybody that saw it, is not going to forget it very soon.
Absolutely. I mean, it's as good as it gets. It's as simple as that. A really thrilling race, and just the whole ambience here is fantastic. So we're delighted. We thought we'd won, but then when we looked at it again, I certainly wasn't so sure, and a dead heat, the first in history, I believe.
The first in the history of the Breeders' Cup. And Dick Mulhall, congratulations to the Thoroughbred Corp. Just a big day. The John Deere turf, a dead heat. Johar and High Chaparral.
All right, Mike, and here is the complete order of finish in the Breeders' Cup turf. High Chaparral and Johar dead heating. Falbrov narrowly beaten third. The Tin Man Suleimani Bright Sky. Then storming home Tocket and Balto Star, the early pace setter, fading to finish ninth.
And there's 2 furlongs to go in the Breeders' Cup turf. And here comes Falbrov, charging up the turn on the outside to color the Tin Man. And Falbrov's in front, but here comes High Chaparral. High Chaparral, the defending champ, to take it to Falbrov. These two arch rivals head to head with Johar bearing down on them. It's going to be a 3-horse photo finish in the turn. Here's the wire. Photo finish. High Chaparral in between horses. Maybe it was very close. Johar coming at the end. Falbrov race here in the Breeders' Cup Turf. Drafting in behind horses in the early stages here. Suleimani storming home, still together. It's a tight pack with Johar at the back of the wall. As they move by us for the first time here, up top it's Balto Star, and keeping him honest, it's the Tin Man with one circuit remaining here. High Chaparral gets a perfect spot as they move into the clubhouse turn, tucked away neatly in behind the lead third. Falbrav is in the clear and running in fourth. Storming home gets taken wide there, and Suleimani stumbled. He got pinched back, and Suleimani stumbled, took a very bad step. They make their way around the clubhouse turn. Balto Star shadowed by the Tin Man. High Chaparral kept right up there, running along in third position as the
Mick Canaan gets him into the gate without a problem. The 4-horse Suleimani, many like him. Frankie Dettori rides him. And as they continue to load for the turf, a field of 9, let's go up to Tom Durkin, who is ready for the call.
There goes Falbrav into the starting gate, and Johar, who has some options for him. Sometimes he can go to the lead, and sometimes he'll come from just a bit off. See how it transpires here in the Breeders' Cup Turf. They're in the gate. Storming home, a little fidgety in there. And they're off. Tockett sent out to the pace begins to quicken for the run down the backstretch. Falbrav still on hold, running along in fourth. Storming home, Gary Stevens fifth on the outside, running along in mid-pack, and they're running comfortably at this juncture. Bright Sky has asked for more run at the midway point down the backstretch. Suleimani, long shot, Tockett is tailing off, and Johar still trailing the field. The Tin Man takes over with a half mile to go. It's the Tin Man in front, but Falbrav looms on the outside. A threatening second as they race into the far turn. High Chaparral is called on for his run as Balto Star retreats. Storming home, and Gary Stevens says go with him. They're only 3 lengths from the front as they approach the top of the stretch. Then Bright Sky on the inside of Suleimani. Johar launching his bid. Lead immediately. Balto Star with his usual early flair. The Tin Man is right there. So too Bright Sky and High Chaparral. Falbrave comes away with the leaders on the outside. Farther back in the early going, Suleimani and Storming Home, and Johar will do his running from the back of the pack today as they continue their descent off the hill and head for the main course. And it is Balto Star to be the early leader, Tin Man to be his shadow. Those two head-to-head as they continue toward the main track here. Just in behind, Tockett has been taken off the pace. Falbrav's under a hard hold. Defending champion High Chaparral in and among horses and well held in 5th position. French filly Bright Sky.